Jake James here on Trijicon Zeroed In. I'm here with Jimmy Seitz.
Yep.
Longtime partner at Trijicon.
Absolutely, man. And proud to be, too.
One of the great hunters on the outdoor channels, the host of Spiritual Outdoor Adventures. Jimmy, why don't you give us a little rundown on what the show is?
Well, Spiritual Outdoor Adventures began, believe it or not, 15 years ago. This is the 15th season that will be on the air this year. And what we're trying to do is just go across the world and show people that you can hunt in, like, England. Like, I took Chuck Ward to England, and we had a blast hunting over there, and you can hunt 3 different deer species. People didn't know that. They didn't think you could have a gun in England.
Right.
Well, you can. It's not easy, but you can. So there's now a Trijicon scope on a gun in England.
That's awesome.
Yeah, how about that?
I think we actually have some footage of that we can show here.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Because it was fun. So we've done, we do Scotland and England. We've done multiple trips to Africa, South America, literally all over the world. And we try to show our American viewers in particular, but also Russia and Ecuador, where our show airs, that you can go and do all of these amazing adventures. It's not just about whitetail and turkeys, which is what most outdoor shows do. Now, I love whitetail and turkey.
Right.
And you'll see a lot of that on the show as well.
Lynn went with you turkey hunting,
She
right?
did. We took Lynn Lyman of Trijicon and marketing department, and it was her first time to ever kill anything. She had her husband Steve in the blind, and we had a blast. Now I'm telling you, big old bird came in, and what was so funny, Jake, is I just couldn't preach enough to him about, now you got to be still. When a turkey comes in, you can't even blink. Well, it takes this turkey an hour to get to us, and finally, when he steps into the field, he's only 20 yards away over here, but it takes him 20 minutes to get to the decoys where she can shoot him. I mean, he's going an inch at a time, not gobbling. And I looked over there at one point, and Steve, her husband, is sitting there going just like this. And after it was all over, he was still just like this. And I said, Steve, did you not enjoy that? And he goes, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I said, well, why didn't you smile? He goes, you told me not to move. And we started just laughing. I said, well, you didn't move, buddy. So anyway, we have a good time. And the whole thing we try to do in our camps is not only have a great hunting experience, but we try to have a spiritual atmosphere, and we'll have devotionals at night. And our camps are God-oriented. And these are not wild men camps, if you know what I mean. They're very spiritual camps, and I'll preach at the church that's local, usually on a Sunday morning, and our group will actually not hunt on Sundays. We'll go to church, or we'll have church in the woods. And it's who we're about, and it's what we're about. And that's why we decided to put the title Spiritual Outdoor Adventures, so people would know what they're getting when they open it up on the show. And it's really cool what God's done with it. He's turned it into one of the biggest rated of the outdoor shows. And to me, that's a great message that God knows what he's doing, because he's the one that gave the idea, and he's the one that sustains the idea.
Sure.
And I will say this too, if it were not for Trijicon, Bass Pro Shops, Morrell Targets, Matthews Bows, these people that have been Emmy, have been with us for so long, we would not be able to do what we do. Right. And it's extremely expensive to buy network airtime, on multiple networks and air to the number of people that we do, and it's expensive to go and do these trips. And so we couldn't do it without our sponsors. I'm glad that my sponsors like Trijicon have good products.
Yes.
Because it's not really a great thing to get on the air and say, man, you got to have this widget. This is the coolest widget ever. You got to have this, and it costs this and all that. And then the people, spend their hard-earned money for it, and it's a piece of crap.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about that with Trijicon. It's the best in the world, and I'm not joking. It is. It's the toughest product I have ever put on any gun, or for that matter on my bow, with my AccuPin sight.
Yep.
And I helped field test that sight and gave a lot of advice to Josh about a couple of issues that I felt were going on, and he corrected both of those in the second run of them. So Trijicon is the kind of company that's very open to continuing to make a product better, even when they think they're ready to go to market with it.
Well, and we had talked about Lynn Lyman going on a turkey hunt with you, and she had the MRO on her gun.
She did.
And I know that is going to be a big turkey hunt now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The improvement that you guys made on that reflex sight over 2 years of time. The first one you sent to me, I had to be honest with Trijicon, and I said it's too big. And it was sitting on top of the shotgun, and my hunters were having to raise their head up, and the gun was popping them, and so we were buying cheek pads to put in there so they could see down the sight. It was too big. Well, within 24 months, I get this new one in the mail, and it is beautiful. It is tiny. It's just, it's literally that big around right there. And it's perfect. You just lay it in there. You keep both eyes open. You can see the bird coming in. You can see what's going on and still see exactly where to put the dot. It's the most perfect dot sight I've ever used. You know, it's a reflex MRO.
Fantastic. This is Jake James with Trijicon Zeroed In, here with
Jimmy Sights. And I tell you what, as soon as I get through with this interview, I'm sneaking back there and I'm taking Kenny Reeves' pistol. He's got an AR back there too, right?
We have Keanu Reeves' AR and his pistol.
I want both of them. I want to do like a Matrix scene on the next Spiritual Outdoor Adventures.
Well, let's call Keanu and get
please.
that set up.
Don't call him, just let me take him. Please, please, please.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.